For most of our lives, we've been told one simple thing about the sun: fear it, right? Hide from it, cover up, and definitely slather on that sunscreen, especially in the middle of the day. It's clear advice. But what if that advice, the very thing designed to protect us, is actually creating a massive, hidden health crisis?
Okay, let's really get into this. We're told to stay out of the sun to prevent skin cancer, and that is absolutely important. But here's the twist. Our bodies are literally built to use sunlight to make a vitamin that's critical for our survival. So are we solving one problem just to create a totally different one? Well, that's the mystery we're going to try and solve today.
And the very first clue in this whole puzzle starts with a global health issue that's kind of hiding in plain sight. It's a full-blown crisis tied directly to our relationship with the sun, and it's affecting millions and millions of people.
I mean, the scale of this is just staggering. Get this. An estimated 40% of Europeans are deficient in vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin. And what's even crazier is that 13% are severely deficient. So this isn't just some small problem, it's a massive public health situation.
And believe me, the stakes here are incredibly high. See, vitamin D isn't just about having strong bones. Being deficient is linked to a whole laundry list of really serious health problems. Everything from a weak immune system to a higher risk of diseases like multiple sclerosis and heart disease. The takeaway is pretty clear. Not getting enough of what the sun gives us can be really, really dangerous.
So why is this all so complicated? Why can't we just, go out and get more sun? Well, it's because sunlight is a classic double-edged sword. To figure out how to get the good stuff without the bad, we need to meet the two main players in our story, the two types of UV rays that make it down to us.
Okay, so on one side, you've got UVB rays. You can think of this as our hero. It's the exact type of ray that kicks off vitamin D production in our skin. But it's a complicated hero because it also plays a role in skin cancer. And on the other side, you've got UVA rays. These go deeper. They're a huge driver of melanoma, and they are out in full force all day long. This right here, this is our dilemma. The thing we need also carries a risk.
And this is where it gets really interesting. This graph right here is the key piece of evidence. The squares show you the sun's power to make vitamin D, while the circles show the risk of melanoma. Now, at first glance, they look kind of similar, don't they? Both of them shoot up around noon. But if you look just a little bit closer, you'll see they are not the same at all.
And this is the absolute crucial difference. As you get into the afternoon, the vitamin D production, the benefit, it just plummets. But the cancer risk, oh, that lingers. It stays much higher for way longer. So what does that mean? It means that getting sun late in the afternoon is basically all risk for very, very little reward.
Which brings us right to the main question of this whole explainer. How in the world are we supposed to navigate this? How do we time our sun exposure to get the most of that vital vitamin D, while at the same time getting the least exposure to that serious cancer risk?
Well, the answer, as it turns out, is the exact opposite of what you'd expect. It basically challenges decades of public health advice. But the science points to a very clear and honestly a pretty radical solution.
And here it is. This is a direct quote from the research. For the absolute best benefit to risk ratio, the best time for sun exposure is precisely when we've all been told to run and hide from it, midday. The advice that was meant to keep us safe might actually be the wrong advice for our overall health.
And this graph shows it perfectly. This data comes from a study in Ecuador, and it shows the raw power of the sun to make vitamin D. Just look at that incredibly sharp, narrow peak right around 12 p.m. The sun is just way, way more efficient at making vitamin D during the middle of the day. You actually need a lot less time in the sun to get what your body needs.
So, here's the big takeaway from all this. We've been focusing on the wrong thing. It's not just about how long you're in the sun, it's about when you're in the sun. A short, smart burst of midday sun could actually be safer and way more effective than a longer time spent outside in the afternoon.
Okay, so what do you actually do with all this information? Now, this is not a free pass to go bake in the sun for hours, not at all. It's about being smarter. So let's break down how you can think about your own personal, sensible plan for getting some sun.
Yeah, there is no one-size-fits-all answer here. Your perfect sun recipe depends on a ton of things: where you live, what season it is, your skin tone, even your age. For example, people with darker skin have more natural melanin, which is like a built-in sunscreen. That means they need more time in the sun to make the same amount of vitamin D as someone with lighter skin.
Let's be crystal clear about this because this is the most important part. You have to apply this knowledge with extreme care. The goal is sensible exposure, not getting a sunburn. We're talking about short periods of midday sun on your arms and legs, just enough to get the health benefit, but never enough to get even a little bit pink. A sunburn is a major cause of skin cancer, and we have to avoid it at all costs.
So, the science really suggests that the sun isn't just an enemy we need to avoid. It's this powerful force that we need to understand and respect for our health. It really leaves us with a question to think about. With this new perspective, how are you going to change your approach to the sunshine?
And that's our look into the surprising science of sunshine. It's a great reminder that our relationship with the world around us is often way more complex than we think. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.
If you enjoyed digging into this mystery with us, make sure to revisit King's Academy. We're always tackling more fascinating topics just like this one.
We would love to hear what you think. Did this change your mind about the sun at all? Let us know down in the comments. Your feedback really helps us make these explainers even better.
And of course, if you have more questions or if anything was unclear, just drop them below. We love keeping the conversation going. We'll see you in the next one.